Hi, I'm designer Jen Gallacher, and today in this Just Ask Jen video hosted by Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, I'm going to use the By the Sea collection from my mind's eye. Before we get started on creating a layout, I wanted to show you just some of the items that are included in this collection. Be sure to visit the My Mind's Eye website so you can see all of the items. The first thing that I wanted to show you is this card set, and they have cards and sometimes prints for many of their beautiful collections. You get 3 of each of these charming little cards, and they do come with envelopes. You could use these to send to friends, or you could use them on your pages if you so desire. This is the 6x6 paper pad, and it has the patterns scaled down, and you get a couple of different pieces of them. I love that whale tail graphic. They are double-sided, and you can see that they have the typical nautical colors. They're a little bit muted and a little bit deeper, which is really, really pretty. These are their decorative brads, and they come with your typical kinds of brads, but then they also have larger pieces like this great steering wheel that you could use, a wheelhouse wheel. This is their journal cards, and they're not just printed. Some of them are actually die cut. So again, these are all the different ones that you're going to get, and they are double-sided. You have tags, die cut shapes, as well as some typographical prints as well. This is their mixed bag, and it has all these different items. It has things that are more generic in nature, and then things that are completely thematic. So you can mix and match these with other collections that they create, or you can use them all to create nautical type themes. This is their sticker sheets. There's 6 different sticker sheets in this particular package. There are 2 alpha sticker sheets. There are shapes, labels, and then an entire sheet of labels. So you get a lot in this one package, 6 different sheets. These are their Flair badges. They have little octopus, let's be mermaids, anchors, just super charming. Now they don't just have enamel dots, they have enamel shapes. So you get your typical dots here at the bottom. On this one you also get squares, anchors, sea stars, and triangles. So you can use them just like you would enamel dots, but they have some different options. These are their wood veneer pieces, and I like these because they both have a light outline as well as a deeper, richer brown as well. And you can change the colors of these with mist or paint or even stamping ink and markers. Again, these are the wood veneer pieces. This is their chipboard elements. They are stickers, and there are some silver foil elements. When I move the page, you can kind of see them. The narwhal has the beautiful silver horn. There's a seashell completely in silver, and then there's just some silver markings on some of these different pieces. So that's really beautiful, silver foil. Then this is their paper and accessories kit. This is the little cover that comes on it, so you kind of see what you're getting, but you get a 6x12 sticker sheet. Again, it has some foil finishes on this particular sticker sheet. And then you get a couple of different pieces of pattern paper. I'll quickly show you these. Some nice nautical stripes and patterns, and then some more thematic type pages. I really like this particular collection. It can go for boys because it has that rich navy and red. It can be trips to the beach, going to the pool, or even if you just like nautical themed items. So I'm going to go ahead and create a layout with this beautiful collection. Let's go ahead and get started. So I cut down a piece of the blue and kind of teal aqua green to an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. Now this particular paper has a wood grain pattern that is subtly placed behind these striped colors. We're going to add some white cardstock to the top, and before I adhere it, I'm going to add some more of the pattern paper to this particular strip. I've taken some of the map pattern paper and I cut it so that the map would show on the majority of the pattern. If I cut the pattern paper so that the more of the map was on this particular piece, it wouldn't look as patterned. So plan where you cut your pieces. And you can see that it has this red stripe on the back. Just place that here at the bottom. right across the bottom edge, and I've pre-measured everything just to make it go a little quicker. And then I'm going to use this diamond pattern in this rich, it's kind of a tomato red color, and it does have sailboats on the other side. I'm going with some of the more subtle patterns because I'm going to bring in a lot of pattern with some of the ephemera and stickers from this collection. Now from the ephemera pack, I have a couple of tags and I have some crochet twine. You could use baker's twine for this. A red or a blue or red and blue together would be really nice. And I'm just tying one with a bow, and we'll tie one in a different way. I always try and keep the tags looking a little bit different. And they're just going through the tops of these holes. If you wanted to use the rest of the tag itself and you didn't want to waste any of it, then I suggest you just cut it off with a pair of scissors. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and tuck these pieces behind the top of my cardstock before I place the cardstock on the page. So I'm just using a dot runner adhesive. I'm eyeballing where I want the white cardstock to go. And then I'm going to place them slightly askew, meaning they're going to tilt just a little bit. And I like that one is red and one is blue. Once we have that down, to the very bottom, I'm going to add some tomato red cardstock, and you can see that I've used a notebook border punch. This particular one is from Stampin' Up, but any border punch will do. Fringe scissors would also look really cool on this page, or even just some die cut shapes and a nice tomato red sticking out from the bottom of your page will look really great. And I'm going to center that design, and I pre-cut it so that the border strip was completely centered. Now I can add all of this white cardstock to my layout. And I want to center this pattern paper and cardstock in the middle of my background piece. You could also offset it if you like that design. I have a 4x6 photo of my son from a recent trip to Mexico that we took, and typically I print it out at home and I leave a little bit of white around it. However, today I wanted to kind of have a texture on texture pattern. So what I did is I took a second sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, and this cardstock is from American Crafts, and it has a very subtle texture to it. And this is going to kind of dress up our page just a little bit. And we're going to place this on the left side of the layout. Now we're going to build a little bit of a scene. And how I do this is I'm going to mix and match some different cardstock stickers as well as some chipboard stickers. And I'll show you just how I start building. So the first thing I will do is I will look for something that runs along this edge of the photo, and that is going to be this chipboard sticker. And I leave the sticker backing on while I'm figuring placement, and then I just peel it off. Again, we're going to follow that edge, and that will lead the eye down to the bottom of the page. Before I tuck it all the way down, or place it all the way down, I'm going to take this ephemera piece. It has silver foil on it that says "Seize the Day," and we're going to stick it out on the right side of the lighthouse, and we want to make sure that it has the same width on both sides. Then I'm going to take another chipboard sticker. This time we're going to do the sailboat. Again, the sticker backing has been left on. That way if I change my mind, it doesn't affect anything. We're going to slightly overlap the photo as well as the lighthouse. And then we're going to take another chipboard piece, and what I did is I kind of placed everything down and saw the colors. You'll notice that I'm using the lighter blue, the red, and the navy. This particular one is a banner piece, and it does have silver foil. It says "Set Sail for Adventure." And this is going to marry these three pieces together. It's also going to be pretty much in the center of my page. Now from the ephemera piece, I'm going to take this little silver foiled, it's an anchor, and I'm going to use a glue dot to hold this in place. I'm going to stick it right on top of my sailboat. Now you can see that glue dot is showing. So then I take a small button, it's a white button, tied with some more of that crochet twine, which reminds me of rope. And I'm going to cover that first glue dot with that button. And then I can trim off the excess pieces of twine. To the left side of the photo, we're going to add a little bit of texture. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this steering wheel and we're going to use this vertical line and did what we did just on this side, and we're going to match that to the photo. So the visual line runs right through that anchor. And then we're going to take some of the chipboard stars from the chipboard sticker sheet, and we'll do a large one. This one's going to run through that visual line right there. The reason why I use these visual lines is that it marries, it joins together all of these pieces. So all these different visual vertical lines suddenly become one piece together. Here at the top, we're going to add a little bit more detail. First, we're going to start with this aqua label. And I like the look of labels layered on top of one another. So I'll center it between the two labels, and then we'll take Be Somebody's Anchor, another ephemera piece, and we're going to place it just below. So a little bit of the white is showing. Then from the stickers from the actual scrapbooking kit, I have cut out this pennant, and I left the sticker backing around it. This particular sticker also has foil accents on it. I love the silver foil accents. And I'm going to use some pop dots, I think, for this particular piece. So you don't need a pop dot on every single back of the items, just enough that it kind of holds up the sticker shape. And you'll notice that I'm not placing one at the very edges, and I'll show you why in just a second. And then you can just peel off the backing from those stickers. And because we have so much weight going down here, we need a little bit more weight up here at the top. Again, we're going to slightly cover the photo. And then I'm going to use a paper piercer. And I'm going to pierce right through that sticker, and that's why I did not put a pop dot right there. Make sure to close that so you don't hurt yourself. Then from the brads, I'm going to take just a few of the pieces, and I picked two brads that were similar in color. You can see the pattern here on the back. And this just makes it a little bit more realistic. When you add twine and things like brads, suddenly it looks a little bit more real. So the tags have twine and the sticker has two brads holding it up. Then for the journaling, I have printed out on little strips of more of that white cardstock, just some text. And when I print it out with my printer. You could also journal directly onto the page. I kind of like this texture on texture look. I just use my word processing program, and I place these all down. And then just make sure that when you place your journaling down, you remember the order of the journaling. It's happened before that I've placed stuff down and I've messed up the order of the journaling. So just make sure that you check it before it's finally adhered on the page. And I'm tucking mine just behind that photo piece, and you'll notice that I have different widths in the journaling. I always do that because that's a lot more interesting to me than just a one long piece of similarly ending pieces of strips. So my strips are different widths. And I included the date when I journaled, which was April of this year. And then to add a little more texture here on this right side, we're going to open up the enamel shapes. And I'm going to go ahead and use the circles because I have used so many other colors. I'm starting by placing one on this title piece because that will help, again, marry it to other items on the page. And then my enamel dots can go wherever off the page where I want to kind of fill in some of that visual space. And I liked that space right here. And then to the actual steering wheel, I'm going to add a small red dot just to give it a little bit more dimension. So here you have a beautiful layout that uses the By the Sea collection from My Mind's Eye. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our tutorial videos. To subscribe to our magazine, use the link below.